Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to the latest episode of Dick Rogers' Space Detective.
And we're back at you with another special episode.
And who's we?
The Northeast Radio Drama Society, or NERDS for short, because, as we always say, everywhere is northeast of somewhere.
On this podcast, we discover, produce, and present episodes of a radio show from the golden age of radio dramas, The Adventures of Dick Rogers, Space Detective.
This month, we've got an episode that gives us a few little breadcrumb clues into the life of Dick Rogers as the series ground on.
We've got such a small sample size of episodes we've found, it's always hard to tell how linear the narrative of the series was.
Yeah, we never know what episode connects to what previous stories.
Take this episode, for example.
Dick Rogers and the Musician Murders.
We don't know when this episode was originally produced. We've got the script, but none of the ads or other details.
We don't even know the author's name.
Not that that's ever really mattered.
I guess not, but it's always interesting to know if it's an author we've had a script from before or not.
Interesting for you, maybe.
Now, in this script, there are references to Dick's partners having recently...
Are we concerned about spoilers here?
It's not like it's important to the plot.
It's mentioned in the announcer intro.
I know, but I never want to decrease anyone's enjoyment of one of the scripts for the first time.
Well, maybe we should just talk about it after the episode.
I don't care.
I'd prefer that.
Fine. Here's Dick Rogers and the Musician Murders.
Welcome back, true spacers, to this week's adventures of Dick Rogers, Space Detective. It's been a difficult few weeks for our hero with the sudden accidental death of his partner, his divorce from Janet, and his transition from working for the GIF into his own private practice. But if anyone can roll with the punches and keep giving life what for, it's Dick Rogers. Tonight, Dick got the call for his first case as a private dick. It's a tale of foul murder in the glamorous world of show business. Stay tuned for Dick Rogers and the Musician Murders.
It was a fine evening in Pleckport. I feel like it should be raining. In the Detective Hollows, it's always storming or foggy or something. Maybe you don't get the private dick weather on your first private case. Who knows? Anyway, I got a call from the manager of one of the most popular singers in the system to come to the Urbane Theater tonight to discuss a case. Bonnie Watson. I've never been big on music, but even I remember when her first big hit came out. Must have been about 3 years ago. You're Losing Your Mind, Terry hit the airwaves, and ever since then, she's been in her own league when it comes to fame and success. It hasn't been all wine and roses. I know her fans wish she did more live performances, but I guess you need to keep them wanting more.
Bonnie's a killer! Bonnie's a killer!
And now, there's that rumor going around that she doesn't just knock them dead on the stage. Carl Banks, lead reporter for that pulp tabloid, the Lakeview Skeptic, has at least a few people convinced that Bonnie commemorates each stop on her tour with a little human sacrifice. I don't have any details yet, but I'm sure that pesky rumor is what got me the call that has me knocking on the stage door at the Urbane like some kind of starstruck fan. The goon they had watching the door knew his craft. He opened the door just far enough to talk to me, but not far enough that I could dash past his beefy frame.
What do you want?
Hi, I'm Dick Rogers, private space detective. Harold asked me to come...
Not a chance, buddy. Buy your ticket around front if you want to see the show.
Listen, meathead, I'm a space detective here on a case. If you don't let me in...
If I don't let you what?
If you don't let me in,
If I don't let you what?
In, Cliff. Let him in.
Who at... Oh, Mr. Vincent. Sorry to shout at you. Just let me get rid of this freeloader.
Cliff, I want you to let him in. He is a space detective, and I've asked him to come here and speak with me.
Geez, sorry about that, boss. Come on in.
The ape moved aside enough for me to squeeze past and swept his eyes across the alleyway to make sure I was the only one out there before closing the door behind us.
Thank you, Cliff.
No problem, boss.
Sorry about him. His hearing is terrible, but he's a fantastic bodyguard otherwise. We could never let him go.
He seems very capable.
Where are my manners? I'm Harold Vinson, Bonnie's manager.
And Dick Rogers, at your service.
I'm so pleased to have you on the case. It's kind of funny. You see, we didn't know you had left the gift for your own private practice, so we had originally called them to request your help.
Yeah, it's a very recent transition. I'm happy to have Bonnie as my first official private client.
Well, the funny thing is, Bonnie's dressing room is right up here. They didn't let on that you were no longer working with them, so they have sent over a GIF space detective to...
Rogers, fancy seeing you here on my case.
Dickerson, fancy you thinking they want you working on this case at all. As we entered the dressing room, we found Dickerson, my least favorite former colleague, interviewing Bonnie. Funny, I thought she'd be taller from the pictures I'd seen.
Don't worry about it, Dick, old boy. The GIF has this case well in hand.
Bonnie and I would really prefer if you would leave this case to our chosen representative.
I'll be out of your hair to continue my investigation in a minute. Now, Bonnie, 2 days ago while you were in Lewiston, when Mabel Wirtz was murdered, sometime between 6 and 11 p.m., where were you?
From 4:30 p.m. to nearly midnight, I was at the Lewiston Palladium preparing for and performing the 2 concerts that brought me to Lewiston in the first place.
And you have witnesses to back up that alibi?
Between Harold here and the... how many people does the Palladium hold?
845 people, and both shows were sold out.
So I'd say there's 1,690 or so people who can vouch for her whereabouts.
1,691.
Not to mention the theater staff, the Cliff, the deaf security guard. Should I go on?
I'm just trying to do my job here, Rogers. All right. It says here that the murder weapon was a steak knife that was stolen from the Etruscan Bistro in Lewiston. Did you eat at that restaurant while you were in town?
The Etruscan Bistro is attached to the Grand Albergo. We stayed at the hotel, and I'm sure the restaurant provided the food that we received as room service, but I never saw any steak knives on the trays they brought up for us. I mean, I don't even eat steak.
Interesting. Well, I won't take up any more of your valuable time tonight, ma'am, but I'd advise against leaving town.
We're here for the next 3 days, and then we'll be moving on to Al-McKee for the next concert.
Well, I'm certain you'll hear from the GIF as we continue our investigation.
Don't worry about it, Dickerson. I'll take it from here. We'll have this whole case figured out before she leaves town.
Good luck with that.
And with that, Dickerson left the room. After he was gone, Bonnie visibly relaxed. Not that I blame her. You call for help and end up getting the 3rd degree, especially when you expect me and get that clown Dickerson. I feel like I should apologize for my former colleague, but I guess he's not really my business anymore.
When did you leave the GIF?
It's been less than a week. You're actually my first official case. If you decide to not just let the GIF handle things, that is.
I'm so sorry, Bonnie. We had no idea that you'd left the GIF, and when we called and asked if they could send you over, they were not forthcoming with the information that you weren't employed there anymore and sent that... I'm sorry. Anyway, we're glad to have you on the case, Dick.
So, from what I've gathered, this is about the rumors of you being a traveling serial killer.
Yes, it feels like that idea is starting to catch on with at least some of the public, and it's just...
We're hoping you can help clear Bonnie's name.
As I understand things, and I'll admit I'm not a tabloid reader, so correct me if I got any of this wrong, but supposedly there has been a murder in every city you've performed in for the last 3 years, and the only logical conclusion is that it's you doing them?
Well, it's only been, 2.5 years?
Yes.
But other than me committing the murders, the rest of it is true. 93 people over the course of 2.5 years. Every city I perform in, someone gets murdered while I'm there, and in every case, they were murdered with a steak knife stolen from a restaurant, either connected to the hotel I'm staying at, or within a block or 2 of the theater I'm performing at.
I suppose it was only a matter of time before a rumor like this started.
After we noticed the pattern, I cut down my touring and performances to the bare minimum required by my contract with a record label.
I've been trying to negotiate that number down lower, but he just won't budge.
So, this is affecting your career more than just the rumors.
Yes, when I'm on stage performing, it's the only time I really feel like myself, like I'm where I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
So, are you the murderer?
What?
No.
Well, shucks. I guess it just couldn't be that simple. Since we've got the awkward question out of the way, let's figure out who is doing this so we can get you back to freely doing what it is you do best.
Of course. That's what I'd say if I were the murderer, isn't it?
You're not wrong. Anyway, is there anyone who has been with you for all the performances in question?
I've been with her for every performance since before the murders started.
How long have you managed Bonnie?
It's been almost 3 years.
I used to be represented by Harold's late wife, Isla, but after her passing, I signed on with him.
And I just have to ask, Harold, you've been with her the whole time these murders have been happening. Are you the murderer?
Harold, the serial killer.
I just like to cover my bases.
So how is this going to go?
Of course, I believe you're not the killer, Bonnie, and everyone knows Carl Banks is a hack, but definitively clearing your name will require proving who's really doing the murders, and that could take some time. I'll dive into the evidence, see what information I can uncover, and, well, of course, it would be easiest to catch the killer in the act.
Of course. Is there any other information you need from us?
Bonnie, 10 minutes to curtain.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ten.
Ten.
That means I've got to go.
Well, of course, break a leg.
Oh, I'm well past breaking legs if you listen to the tabloids. I've even gone past breaking other people's legs.
After Bonnie left, Harold and I talked money. We agreed on a number, and I was officially on my first case as a private space detective.
Dick's on the case. But before he can get into the investigation, it's time for a word from our sponsors. Are you depressed? Anxious? Do you have visual or auditory hallucinations? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Ask your doctor about Gulnathian brainworms. Skip the shock treatments, skip the lobotomy, and just get yourself a wiggly little brain friend. These friendly little guys wriggle into your brain right to where the problem is and replace all those negative feelings with their own brand of positive can-do attitude. Your loved ones will notice the change, but we promise they'll love it. Gulnathian brainworms. You may not be quite yourself anymore, but at least you won't be sad. And now we rejoin our hero at the theater, ready to spring into action.
After the financial talk, Harold invited me to head in and watch the show. I went in and stood at the back of the theater for a few minutes. Bonnie sounded great, and under the stage lights, she looked even better. But once I'm on the case, especially a serial murder case, it's hard to focus on having fun and enjoying myself. I decided to head back to the office and start seeing what details I could dig up. As I exited, I almost ran smack dab into Dickerson, loitering in front of the theater.
Rogers, thanks for holding the door for me. I'd love to head in and see the show.
Fat chance, Dickerson.
You know, it's that kind of attitude that has you working as a private dick.
I resigned, and you know it, Phil.
Yeah, you've resigned because you've got no sense of camaraderie with your...
My partner died in a freak accident, and I got divorced in the same week. Sue me for wanting to change my life.
Oh, does that mean Janet is...
If you try to finish that sentence, they'll have to surgically reattach your jaw.
Touchy. What's that? I'm less than a block away. I'll be right there. Sorry to cut this pleasant conversation short, civilian Rogers, but I've got a murder to investigate.
Good riddance. Dickerson strolled off toward 3rd and Elm, and after getting out of range of his stench cloud, I decided to follow. After all, a murder less than a block from where Bonnie was performing was bound to be related to my case. As I followed, I saw a gift cordon across the end of the alley. It might be harder to get good info without Dickerson catching on than I thought.
Glad you could make it so fast, Dickerson.
You're lucky I came at all, Felix. I was about to get into the Bonnie Watson show for free.
Well, based on the sign she has, if this lady was still alive, she'd be happy to keep you away from Bonnie.
Hey, she might be a murderer, but have you seen her? I'd risk my life for a night with her.
Rogers? Is that you, Rogers?
It was too late to turn around. I've been spotted. Yeah, it's me, Felix.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry about what happened to Kristoff. I just hadn't had a chance to talk to you with that,
leave it, Felix. Don't worry about this washed-up private dick.
Thanks, Felix. Bonnie and her manager actually hired me to clear her name.
Well, I'd say this murder's got to be involved with whatever's going on around her.
My thoughts exactly. Would you mind if I take a look?
Fat chance, Rogers. This is official GIF business. Move along before I move you along.
Felix, a little help here?
Sorry, Dick. Phil here is the ranking officer on the scene. If he says you're out.
All right, no problem. I've got my own ways to get my information.
Have a lovely night, Dick.
I headed back toward the theater. I'd basically seen everything I needed to see at the scene of the crime anyway. It was clear the woman had been killed with a steak knife, since it was left behind in the last of what must have been a couple dozen stab wounds. The anti-Bonnie Watson sign was an interesting twist, though. I wasn't lying when I said I had other ways of getting the info. It was time to make a call.
Bonnie's a killer! Bonnie's a killer!
It was extra creepy walking past the anti-Bonnie crowd after seeing their compatriot in the alley with her mortal coil. Thoroughly shuffled. Security let me back into the theater to use the payphone in the lobby.
City Morgue, Maja speaking.
Maja, my favorite corpse toucher. I was hoping you were working tonight.
Dick, my favorite, well, I guess you're my favorite private dick nowadays. If you're calling me to ask me out, we'll have to do it some other time. I've got the night shift.
I'm glad you've got the night shift. I need to ask you a favor.
That depends. Is it business or pleasure?
This one's all business, Maja.
All right. What do you want?
A body's coming in. A murder victim. I'd like to have a look at it, or at least your notes on it.
Oh, but there's already a body I want you to take a look at.
Sorry, I'm on a case.
Always with the business. You usually like to see the bodies at the scene. Why are you calling me to see it after they bring it in?
There was this whole pissing contest with Dickerson. He barred me from the scene. Official gift personnel only.
I wouldn't have thought Dickerson would win a pissing contest with a man of your caliber.
It was his scene, and anyway, this way, I get to come visit you.
Win-win. So why do you need to see this body?
Do you know Bonnie Watson?
Oh, you're losing your mind, Terry. You run out of time, Terry.
Wow, you sound just like her. I take it you're a fan?
Who isn't?
Well, there's a half dozen or so people protesting outside the theater tonight who think she's been practicing human sacrifice or something.
I heard that cockamamie theory. That Carl Banks is a real imaginative thinker, isn't he?
There was some commotion kicking up outside. I peeked out and saw a man being greeted by the concerned citizens as he approached.
You know, he tried to talk his way into my morgue once, back when Billy McLaughlin OD'd. He was trying to get pictures of the body. I stood to make a whole $15 as a bribe to let him in, too.
$15? I thought someone with his readership could at least scrape together a real bribe.
Oh, that's the buzzer. Your body must be here. I better go let them in.
Well, just a second, Maja. What did Carl Banks look like?
About 5'6", white, bad comb-over. About 280 pounds. Cheap suit. Why?
I think he's out front talking to our protesters.
Interesting. Anyway, I gotta go. Bring me wine and flowers when you come.
How about pizza and beer?
Even better. See you later.
Bye. Maja's description matched the man I had seen arrive to a T. I decided to head over and see if I could get a gauge on what kind of reporter this Carl Banks was.
Doing the Lord's work being here tonight to let everyone know what kind of monster they come to see. It means a lot to me that you're all here to spread the word. Thank you.
I can't believe I'm meeting the Carl Banks in person. I'm a huge fan.
Of course you are, Mr.
Tolliver. Emmett Tolliver.
Lovely to meet you, Emmett. Thanks for coming out to help spread the message.
You couldn't keep me away. Hey, Mr. Banks, what are you doing here in Pleckport? Isn't the Skeptic based in Lakeview?
I'm just... I go where the story takes me.
Ooh, what story?
It's... Well, I'm just trying to gather more evidence on the whole Bonnie Watson serial killing spree.
Wow, so you're just following her tour from city to city to get the real story?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's important to get as many facts as you can when the story is this important. Besides, you never know what kind of scoops you'll find when you're out on the road. Anyway, thank you all for being here tonight, but I'd better get going.
It was time for me to get going, too. I had to stop for pizza and beer before I got to the city morgue.
While Dick travels to gather more clues, it's time for us to travel into the world of our advertising partner.
Hey kid, give me your lunch money.
I don't have any lunch money. All I have are these Zithrax combination sucker treats.
Are those the candy confection with a hard candy outside and chocolate taffy center?
Yes, they're delicious and fun.
Okay, give me all the Zithrax combination sucker treats.
Well, why can't we just share the Zithrax combination sucker treats?
Alright, but just this one time since there's no one around to see me being good.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone your secret.
I love Zithrax combination sucker treats.
Yeah.
Zithrax combination sucker treats. They're good.
If you're in the mood for something sweet, try Zithrax combination sucker treat. And now, Dick arrives at the city morgue with a little incentive for his helpful coroner friend.
And when I got to the morgue, I was glad to not see Dickerson anywhere around. It'll be hard enough to get past any Giffies as a private dick, but with him around, I knew it would be absolutely pointless to try. I got a pizza delivery for Maja Banana Tango.
Bantagino, I'll take it to her.
I gotta collect for the order. I better deliver it to her in person.
Wait, Rogers, is that you? You don't work for the GIF anymore. What are you doing here?
If he really brought me pizza, it means he's coming to take a look at our victim.
Margie, you can't just let unauthorized personnel into the morgue.
Hicks, it's my morgue. I get to decide who's authorized.
Fine, but if the chief has a problem with it, it's your ass, not mine.
Don't worry about it, Hicks.
Thanks, Maja.
Not so fast, Pizza Boy. Open up that box and show me the good.
I did as I was told.
Supreme, you even know my order. And you really brought beer, too. Come on in, hot stuff.
Maja gave me a couple minutes to look over the body while she had a slice. It didn't give me too much more info than I had been able to glean from my brief glimpse at the scene. So, what can you tell me?
Yeah, female, mid-30s Caucasian. So far, I've counted 25 wounds that seem consistent with the presumed murder weapon that came in with her.
How about a time of death?
It's hard to pin down precisely when they're this fresh. Definitely less than 2 hours, but maybe less than 1?
Bonnie took the stage about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Do you think she died after that?
It's definitely possible. You know, it's strange to get the body this soon after death unless the person who reported the body actually witnessed the murder.
Who reported the body?
Let's see. It looks like it was an anonymous call. Oh, there is a recording, though. Let me cue that up.
Hello? Yes, I'd like to report a murder in the alley between Elm and Fig along 3rd.
And what is your name, sir?
My name is... It's not important. Goodbye.
If that wasn't Carl Banks, I'll apply for my old job back.
I'm glad you won't have to do that. As it stands, there's no more HR rules against you taking me out on a date.
Isn't that what we're doing here now?
Aw, pizza and corpses. You really know how to dazzle a girl.
You know, I think I'm starting to form a pretty solid theory of who's been doing all these murders. I better get back on the trail.
And cut our date short?
I'll have to make it up to you.
You better.
Just say the word. After I finish this case, anyway.
Promises, promises. See you later, handsome.
Bye, Maja. I headed back to the Urbane Theater to see if I could catch Bonnie after the show. But by the time I'd shouted my way past poor deaf Cliff, she was long gone. I did manage to catch Harold before he headed back to the hotel. I'm sorry to hold you up. I know it's been a long day, but I just have some questions.
You clearing Bonnie's name is top priority. I don't mind staying for a while if it will help.
Thank you. To start with, unfortunately, there has been another murder that fits the pattern.
Damn. Bonnie and I were hoping that since she'll be in town for the next couple days, that maybe you'd crack the case before it could happen here.
Yes, but another player in this whole business is also in town. I saw Carl Banks outside the theater earlier talking with the protesters.
I'm not surprised. Every tour stop Bonnie makes, he turns up like a bad penny. If it wasn't for his little theory, I'd just assume he was in love with Bonnie. Wouldn't be the first love-struck fool following her from town to town.
So she gets a lot of unwanted followers?
Cliff and I do what we can to keep it to a minimum. I think Carl is the only one we haven't been able to dissuade after 2 or 3 cities.
How long has he been following her?
It's been at least a year and a half. I'm not really sure. He rarely buys a ticket to the show, so it's up to us to keep our eyes out for him, especially now that his fans are picketing all of Bonnie's shows.
So, other than you, Carl has been following Bonnie from city to city the longest. Do you think he's been following her for 93 stops?
You mean, do I think he's been committing all these murders and using his rag to pin them on Bonnie?
I guess that's about the shape of it.
That's preposterous. There's no way that a 2-bit hack smut peddler like Carl could have killed 94 people and not left even one bit of evidence that Kif could use.
I thought there were only 93 murders linked to the pattern.
Who can keep track of it? It's something like that.
There have certainly been a lot of murders without the killer slipping up and leaving something behind that brings the gift knocking. If all 93 people were actually killed by the same person and there's no copycatting in there, then the person who's doing it must be extremely careful and meticulous to keep themselves entirely off the radar until now.
I think everyone agrees that it was all done by the same person. Wouldn't that just make the most sense?
I guess it would be easier to keep from being caught if you're constantly on the move and all the victims are chosen based on convenience with no connection to the killer.
I suppose that's true, but it's still surprising they've gotten away with it this long.
Definitely. Hey, Bonnie said she used to be represented by your late wife. How did you end up taking her on as a client? I'm sorry for your loss, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, she passed. I guess next week it will be 3 years.
And Bonnie has been your client for 3 years, then?
Well, she didn't sign on with me for a couple months after Isla's passing, but I've been with her ever since.
The door opened and Cliff entered.
I'm gonna head out, boss.
I'd better head out myself. It's a big day tomorrow, too.
What did you say, boss?
I'm going to come with you.
What?
I'm going to come with you.
Oh, okay.
One thing before you go, Mr. Banks.
It's too late for Banks, Mr. Detective, man. They all close at 5, and it's almost midnight.
Thanks for the info.
Just a second, Cliff. What can I do for you?
Could you arrange a meeting with Bonnie for me tomorrow morning? Not too early. I know performing at her level takes plenty of rest.
Certainly. Bonnie doesn't sleep in too late. How does 10 o'clock sound?
Thank you. That sounds great.
Give your name at the reception desk. We're staying at the Pleckport Fairmont, and I'll make sure they have a private meeting room set up for us.
I'd sure appreciate that. Good night, Harold.
Good night. Come on, Cliff!
It was time to head home, and luckily for me, it was a long walk for a man with a few conflicting theories to think about. But on my way back, I happened to pass the city morgue once again, and I decided I should talk to Maja one more time before I called it a night.
Dick has a lot to consider before the morning, but now it's time for you to consider purchasing something from our sponsor. Have you or someone you know been affected by a Golnathian brainworm? The positive effects are real, but before long you find yourself desiring to drink milk fresh from the cow, or getting into a hot tub in jeans, or in extreme cases, heading up a federal department while actively working against the purpose and intent of that department? If so, you may be eligible to join a class action lawsuit against their distributor, Brainloop, owned by Alaric Lancaster. If you're not sure where you end and the brainworm begins, contact the law firm of Ingot & Ingot, 1410 Plantation Road, Mars Colony, S5, or connect directly via Brainworm Now. Dick's contemplation is over, and he's ready to spring into action. We rejoin him at the Pleckport Fairmont.
The next morning, it was almost time for my meeting with Bonnie and Harold, or should I say, our meeting. I decided I needed to bring Maja with me since she helped me so much with the case. I gave my name at the reception desk, and a porter showed Maja and I up to a small private sitting room with a couple couches, a small dining table, and most importantly, Bonnie Watson, Harold Vinson, and that lummox Cliff.
Hello, good morning, Dick, and,
Good morning. Thank you for meeting with me. This is Maja Bantagino. She's a coroner for the GIF at the City Morgue here in Pleckport. Maja, this is Bonnie Watson and her manager, Harold Vinson.
Lovely to meet you, Maja.
Well, you must get this all the time, but I'm a huge fan.
Nice to meet you. Dick, could I ask why Maja is here?
Oh, I promise, I'm not just here as a fan.
Maja actually found the evidence that broke the case, so I figured she should be here too.
Wonderful.
So, Bonnie, I'm not sure if you've heard, but unfortunately, there was another murder last night.
Yes, I heard about it on the radio.
Yes, well, Maja was the one who examined the body. Could you tell Bonnie and Harold about the victim from last night and how it compared to the previous victims?
Bonnie doesn't need to hear any gruesome details, especially now. We just ordered breakfast.
Don't worry, Harold. It won't ruin my appetite. I want to see where this is all going.
I would love to explain this to you, Bonnie. Okay. The MO for all of the murders has been extremely consistent, and last night's victim was no outlier. The victims have all been seemingly chosen at random. Their throats have been slit from behind with a steak knife, and then they have received a varying number of additional stab wounds to the torso and arms.
There was a knock on the door, and a heavy-set man wheeled in a cart covered with room service trays of various breakfast foods.
Where do you want it?
Set the trays on the table, thank you.
The murder weapon has always been identified to have been stolen from
A steak knife, like this one. Does this look familiar, Bonnie? Did you use one like this to kill that lady last night?
What?
Carl?
Carl had apparently disguised himself as a bellboy to sneak into this private meeting. I drew my blaster, kept him in my sight, just in case he made any sudden moves.
Cliff, get this man out of here!
Sure thing, boss.
You just want me out of here so you can keep sweeping her crimes under the rug.
No, I just want you out of here because you've entered under false pretenses and now you're waving around a steak knife at my client.
We've talked about this, Carl. I am not a murderer. I don't know who is committing these heinous crimes, but that's what we're here to discuss.
Carl, as you can see, I am armed. I've got this blaster set to stun, but it's still not pleasant to be stunned.
No, it's not.
Put down the knife.
I'll put it down if you call off the ox.
No, Ox is my brother. My name is Cliff.
Actually, why not let him stay? In a way, it's thanks to you we've solved this case after all.
As long as he stays over there and stays sitting, it's all right with me.
Are you sure?
Well, as long as Dick is clearing my name once and for all, why not have him here to report on it?
Never mind, Cliff. He can stay.
Wait, you don't want I should take him out?
No, Cliff. It's okay for him to stay.
Anyway, the knife is always stolen from a restaurant within 2 miles of the murder.
Yeah, from the restaurant in the hotel Bonnie is staying at.
Sometimes, yes, but more often it comes from a restaurant a block or two away from the theater she is performing at.
Does he really have to be here?
It's fine, Harold. I just want this to be over. I'm tired of limiting my tours to the bare minimum to have less opportunities for some nut job to murder people in my wake. I can't help but feel some sense of responsibility for these deaths, even though I'm not involved in any way. I'd love to do more shows. Thankfully, the amount my contract requires provides me with a comfortable income, but without this dark cloud following me from city to city...
Or maybe you're just worried you'd get sloppy and get caught if you did more shows.
Are you sure he has to be here?
Shut up, Carl. It's okay, Harold. Before we're done here, Dick will give us the real story, and Carl can apologize to me to my face about all of these accusations.
I can't see the point of any of this. Why do any of us have to be here? Clearly, no one in this room has anything to do with these horrible murders. Can't you just take the information to the GIF and let them sort it all out?
Harold, calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
You're losing your mind, Harold. You've run out of time, Harold. You're losing her love.
I'll kill you!
Harold dove toward Maja with a pilfered steak knife in hand, but we had been expecting this. I tripped him and then stunned him with my blaster. Then, once he was limp on the floor, I started to handcuff him.
I can't believe. I should have known.
It's okay, Bonnie.
He covered his tracks pretty well.
If there were signs, I know you would have reported them.
That's the thing. Harold used to be different. Worse before his wife died. That's why I looked for a different manager after she passed for a couple months before Harold convinced me to sign with him. I had wrote You're Losing Your Mind, Terry, about him and what Isla told me about their relationship. But after she passed, I didn't see anything in his behavior like Isla had described, and I started to think maybe Isla had been exaggerating. And then for the last almost 3 years, I'm such a fool.
I don't think Isla was exaggerating. She didn't just pass away. Harold poisoned her in a way that made it look like she had simply had a massive sudden heart attack. I had to dig for it, but in her autopsy records, I found an easily overlooked injection wound, and it was a fatally high potassium level that did the job.
Last night, when I was talking to him, he said there were 94 murders instead of the 93 that are usually attributed to him.
It's true. It's all true. I couldn't take it. Isla told me the song was about me, and it was such a big hit. I heard it everywhere I went. I thought once Isla was gone, that would be enough. And for a while, it was. But before long, I found myself in an alley with a stolen steak knife. And the more Bonnie decreased her touring and performing, the better I felt. So I just kept doing it everywhere we went.
You monster! Did somebody call for a couple of jiffies to take away the perp? Take that man out of my sight.
No problem, ma'am. I'd congratulate you, Rogers, but it was pretty obvious he was the one doing it. Then why didn't you solve it?
Don't waste your energy on him, Maja.
All right, sir. You have the right to remain silent.
I may have the right, but I don't have the ability. Do you know how good it feels to hold the power of life and death in your hands? Do you know how it feels to be a wolf in sheep's clothing? The flock doesn't know to fear you, even as you harvest
I
their
better
souls
follow them.
like wheat.
You never get a confession like this that easy.
Wait, don't you have something to say to me?
Sorry for accusing you of being a serial murderer. Thanks for the scoop. I gotta go.
Hey, where are they taking the boss?
To jail, Cliff.
Oh, is it because of all the murders?
Yes.
Wait, you knew Harold was killing people this whole time?
Yeah?
Why didn't you tell someone?
No one asked me.
I still can't believe it went on for this long and I was totally oblivious.
Oh, Bonnie, he worked very hard to keep you from even thinking it could be a possibility.
With a man like that, it's just impossible to guess.
But hey, on the upside, with Harold out of the way, you can finally tour and perform as much as you want.
And one of these days, I hope I can put all of this behind me. How much do I owe you, Dick?
My daily rate is $800 plus expenses. So, with the pizza I bought to bribe Maja last night, I'd say about $830.
Here's a check for $3,000. I seriously cannot thank you enough.
Wow, thank you.
And anytime I'm in town, I'll have them hold a pair of tickets for you at the box office. Thank you again so much.
It's all in a day's work, ma'am.
Well, I'd better get back to my room. I've got a concert tonight to get ready for.
It was amazing meeting you, Bonnie.
Likewise. Come on, Cliff. Let's go.
Sure thing, lady boss.
Well, what would you think about the two of us grabbing some breakfast?
As long as it's your treat, Mr. Moneybags, I'm 100% on board.
Actually, I meant this breakfast here. No one else is gonna eat it. We can take it up on the roof and have a nice, relaxing meal.
I mean, it's no romantic candlelit dinner, but I'll take it.
Maybe we can try that some other night.
You promise?
We headed up to the roof, and you know what? This hotel does make a pretty decent breakfast. It was a heck of a way to close out my first case as a private detective. Heck, maybe I would take Maja out one of these days. I am a single man now, after all.
And that wraps up Dick's first big private case. We hope you thrilled and chilled along to the twists and turns of this week's Adventures of Dick Rogers, Space Detective. And make sure to join us again next week. Same space time, same space station.
Okay, are we ready to discuss?
Absolutely.
If we have to.
Anyway, as I was saying, in this script they reference that Dick Partner has recently died.
A partner that we have not seen referenced in any of the scripts we've found yet.
True, and having just gotten divorced from Janet, who he had first met in Dick Rogers and the Gold Codes, subsequently married, and had been divorced from by the time The Porn Star's Guide to the Galaxy came out.
That episode was from 1951, if my notes are correct.
So that would help narrow down when this episode originally came out. If we knew when Gold Codes originally came out.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
So that's what you wanted to discuss at the top of the episode?
Yep.
Mike, do you still think that was worth postponing to avoid spoilers?
In hindsight, maybe not.
Cool. Why don't you just hit him with the handles, Mike?
We're on Facebook at Dick Rogers Pod, on Instagram at Dick Rogers Space Detective, and you can join the nerds on Patreon at patreon.com/space_detective.
And make sure to join us for your next Dick appointment, same space time, same space station.
Goodbye, everybody.
This episode's nerds are Angela Ventris as Eleanor, Dickerson, stage manager, and Maja. Logan Wright as Daniel, Cliff, Bonnie, Felix, Kid, Hicks, and operator. Michael Storm as Mike Nutley and Dick Rogers, and Nicholas Johnson as Harold, Carl, and Bully. Dick Rogers and the Musician Murders was written by Nicholas Johnson, with music by Nicholas Johnson, sound design by Michael Storm, and audio editing by Nicholas Johnson.
Zithrax combination sucker treats. They're good.
A ringing endorsement.